Good morning, friends. It is a beautiful fall morning on my homestead here, and I am enjoying just taking it all in, the coolness, the clouds, even the rain, and I just am so loving this time of year. It seems that I have been busy in many different directions lately, and it was just so nice to have a couple days of being at home and focusing on what I love to do, the homemaking. I had two of my sons that were coming to visit. One was bringing some things that he's going to be storing here with us, and so they were both on their way that day, and I decided that I would make some food. Nothing like home-cooked food when your kids come home. When they did arrive, the house was just filled with such amazing smells and just good food for them to eat. They were so happy. It had been a really long day for them, and they couldn't wait to have some dinner, and we ended up having such a good evening together of just eating and enjoying. Besides the meatballs and the macaroni and cheese I made, I also cooked up some pinto beans and made a pinto bean dip for them as well, or for all of us. And gosh, that turned out good. I didn't have a recipe for this. I just kind of used what I had. So I started with the pinto beans and added a little bit of butter and kind of making refried beans into that. And then I started adding the other ingredients, which was some cream cheese. I had an open package that probably had less than half, and I threw that in there. Like I said, I didn't really use a recipe. I just started adding all the ingredients that I thought would make a really good bean dip. I think there's nothing like food to bring people together and to create warmth. One of those wise women building their home things on the list is home-cooked food, I believe. If you saw my last video, couple videos, I've talked about different things about a wise woman building her home, and to me it just seems like food is a natural, and it creates an incredible environment. Just like I said, that smell and the warmth that it creates, and then the family time together, or just the time sat eating and enjoying, laughing, talking. It really is a blessing. After I had finished mixing it all up, I put it into the oven and baked it with a little extra cheese on the top, and I had it in there probably about a half hour at 350, so it really turned out to be a very yummy dip. And I had quite a bit of food cooked there, so by the time they left the next morning, they had to get up early, and they had an appointment the next day, and so I was very happy to send them along with a nice bag full of all the goodies, all the leftovers, and they greatly appreciated that. After they had left the next morning, it was time for me to move on with my day. I have a bedroom that I am planning to turn into my sewing room, and I love the views up there. I have taken a lot of my sewing things up there, but I just haven't got to that project yet. Who knows, maybe this winter I will work on that. The first thing that I needed to do was get an apron ironed. I can't start my day without putting on my apron, and this one had been washed, and it always gets kind of wrinkled when that happens. And really, there's nothing that feels as good as a freshly cleaned, freshly ironed apron to put on and get busy with the day. I've been doing a lot around my house as I'm getting it set up again, and there are things that needed to be replaced before we had moved. My daughter had moved in, and now is the opportunity for me to take care of some of these things. The bedroom curtains that I had hanging up in my room, they were old. They were probably 25 years old and needed to be replaced. And my daughter had curtains, so she had hung her own up. And then when they moved, that left no curtains on the windows. So it was time. It was definitely time to be replacing curtains. I It's hard to tell with this, the color, but it is a light gray. They are light filtering curtains. I wanted to be able to still have light, be able to filter in. I didn't need blackout curtains or anything like that. We kind of live out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't need to have to worry about things like that. I just like to have something on the windows because it definitely makes things so much more cozy. Once I had them all ironed and laid out, I had let my husband know because he was going to come in and put the new curtain rods up. And once again, I think curtains are another thing that are so amazing to make a home feel cozy. I have made literally hundreds of curtains, I'm sure, over the years. I have no problem making curtains. I just did not have the time. Like I said, I have been so incredibly busy between helping family out, getting our things out of storage, and just trying to get our life set up and keep moving forward. It has been a lot. So I opted for Amazon this time and was very happy with the way that it all turned out. Still lots to do, but that part is all done. My next step was to move on to just tidying up the rest of the house. I don't have my guest rooms upstairs quite set up yet, so I have a bed in one, and one son slept there, and the other son slept on the couch. So I just needed to, pick it up, clean it up, and get my home back in order. One of the things that I pulled out of storage was this wooden box, and I was very happy to have found it. I knew I had kept it, but it got buried with a whole lot of other things that were in storage. This box belonged to my mother, and she has been gone now for about 25 years. And oh my gosh, wherever I had put it, it was very dusty, and so I was just trying to get it all cleaned up. I used one of my cleaning toothbrushes that was dry just to get into all the wood carvings and things. I don't really know a lot of history about this other than my grandfather, who my mother was very close to. Her father had given it to her, and it was just really nice to get it all cleaned up, and I decided I need to bring it out. It's a part of my history and a part of my past. These lamps, oil lamps, also belong to my mother, so I decided that her things would be on a shelf all on their own. A pleasant atmosphere in the home creates a beautiful background for happy memories. Because I want the warm atmosphere and the good memories it fosters, I plan for it. I plan the meals, including how I set the dinner table, and make it beautiful. I plan for order in the home, for the housework, for the laundry, and for the upkeep of our clothing, so that life is calmer. I plan surprises too, so that life at home is fun. If all the planning sounds like a lot of effort, remember that no work of art is slapdash together. Artistry calls for planning and design, and so does the work of art called home. Elizabeth George. I'd like to remember and encourage all of you to remember too that homemaking is not a job. It is our calling. It is really a ministry to those around us and to those that we love. And there is nothing more satisfying at the end of the day to see that your home is in order and life is at peace. Dinner for this night was going to be easy. I pulled a steak out of my freezer that I had previously marinated and let that defrost. I had some corn on the cob in the freezer. Those were going on the barbecue. I had leftover veggies and some French bread. It was a good feeling of a day well spent. My home was in order, things were clean and picked up, and I could now look forward to an enjoyable evening with my husband, barbecuing some dinner, and just having some relaxing time. I really want to thank all of you ladies who came and visited with me today and spent this time with me. I appreciate you all so very much. You're truly a blessing to me, and I hope this video was an encouragement to you and that you are able to have an amazing day today and week ahead. And I will see you guys all on my next video. Bye-bye.